Andrew, how are you, buddy?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
No, I do appreciate you giving me the time because I did see the other day, actually yesterday, that on your website, the $500 for the 60 minutes. And I would have happily paid that, but I do appreciate doing this so we can also have people see the questions being asked and hear the answers too, so that everybody benefits and it's just not the two of us.
I appreciate you being open to that, buddy. That says a lot about you to be open like that. Give me a little bit of history on who you are, my friend. Bring me up to speed on who you
Absolutely.
are and how you got where you got.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of bad at telling stories. I go too long sometimes, so I'll try to do a quick version. So I was born back in California. I live in Portland, Oregon now. I was born to an awesome pediatric oncologist. My father at Stanford, and my mother was a NICU nurse. And so I had, very educated parents, and I was raised in a really good household. They were always very helpful. And I was fortunate enough to never have really and have ever had any money trouble.
Yeah.
And so when I was 18, I started doing network marketing with a company called Vima. I don't know if you know them or not. And I had a good experience there. It was my first business experience. And to be honest, I was kind of hot-headed. I thought I knew what I was doing. I was told to read the book, listen to the people who've done it. I didn't do any of that. And honestly, I failed because of it. And so that was kind of a reality check for sure. And then in addition to that, I was actually going to school at Oregon State University for mechanical engineering. Because ever since seventh grade, I wanted to be an engineer, have an engineering company. However, though, after my first term, I did atrocious. I was horrible at engineering. I was bad at the math. I was bad at the chemistry, all that kind of stuff. And I actually got suspended from school because I just had done so poorly. And that was probably the biggest wake-up call I had. I kind of realized that if I wanted to take this entrepreneur thing seriously, if I wanted to build a business, I had to get in shape. I had to develop a better work ethic, which is something I just didn't have because I honestly grew up with an easy life growing up. My parents did well. I never had to worry about anything. And so I didn't understand the value of hard work, right? And so I gone to other business activities. I've looked into a few things, but last year in January 2016, I just rediscovered an idea that I had done in an entrepreneurship class back in school out of the community college I was attending to after I had not done well at Oregon State, and it was this liquor company idea, and so I've been running with that ever since. And so now I live up here in Portland, Oregon, and me and four of my good friends and people who I thought were really capable are doing that right now.
So just take me back a little bit further. I mean, give me one of the low points of your life so far, and then give me one of the high points.
Low points. It's probably that suspension. Again, like I said, I had an easy life. I was fortunate enough to have my parents pay for my education. And so once they got the letter, they were very not pleased with me whatsoever. I had to go back home kind of in shame and go to school down there for a little bit. And then when I went back down there for school back to California, I started doing business and economics. That was a couple of classes I was taking, and I absolutely killed it. Business and economics, it really just clicked for me. I understood it really well, and I aced all my classes. And as a reward, my parents let me come back up here to Oregon. But the suspension was really my low point. I think my high point was last year. I actually dropped out of school to pursue the business more seriously, primarily because I had no money. I was working a job to build up money for the business because we didn't have any money to do anything. I wasn't looking to take loans out, that kind of thing. And so I dropped out of school to give myself more time for the business and to also get money from the college accounts my parents had fortunately set up for me. And so that happened, I want to say a little past halfway last year. So that was kind of my high point, I think.
All right. Well, are you sure? That may turn out to be your new low point. I mean, how has that worked out for you? You've dropped out of college. to start a business with you and 3 buddies. You guys got no money for it. Your parents want you to finish school. It's obviously important to them. They want their son to graduate college. So tell me why that's a high point. That actually sounds a little bit like a low point to me.
You know, I'm sure it does seem like a low point. For me, it's a high point because for me, it was the first real time I took a hold of my life, and that I was fully calling the shots. I was the one who was making all the decisions, and it was a tough call. It really was. But for me personally, the teachers I had, they were people who had never run businesses and those kind of things. The textbooks they were reading out of, they were most of them were 10 years old with information. And I'm sure, as you know, I mean, even a year in the business world can become old pretty quick. So I mean, 10-year-old information was just it wasn't helping me. And ever since my failure with the network marketing, I had started to actually get involved and listen to people who had already done it, like Grant Cardone, Mark Cuban, Damon John, you name it.
Well, let's get down to this call, my friend, because I want to help you in what I can. Let's talk about it for a second. How deep you want to go today? Because I'll go all the way. So you tell me how deep you want to go. Well, I mean, then you start with the first question because I want to help you. I want this to be valuable for you, for me. I always take a lot out of these kind of phone calls. I mean, I learn a lot from this stuff as well. So if you're all right, I want to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think my first question is what would be when you're just sort of, because we're still so new, what would be the top 3 things you would say would be to focus on when you're this new?
Yeah, but dude, you got a lot of problems in the setup. I mean, the first problem is you got 4 guys, right?
Yeah. For the 5 of us total.
Dude, there's 5 of you?
Yeah.
Dude, there ain't no money for 5 guys to split. None of you are going to make a living off of this business. I mean, let's be straight about it, dude. You can't.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, you guys have to generate $500,000 of net after-tax money just to be able to pay yourselves $100,000. So what's the game plan to get you guys to make $500,000 net? What's the business plan say that this business can do?
So one thing, we're coming out with our product. It's a liquor drink. We're coming out with it. We're launching in November because we have a lot of reviews and stuff that the federal government has in place that we have to go through still. And so the biggest thing that we're looking to do is start a rep program with of-age college students to promote the drink on campuses, because the drink is a pre-made jungle juice that we're attempting to sell in stores. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do, is to sell it in stores, to wholesale it to them. And it's a jungle juice, which is a very popular drink amongst the 21 to 25-year-old population, especially at college. And so for whatever reason, it didn't exist before. I don't know why. I've tried to figure out. I've done research on it. Let's stay right on the target of the question. The question is, sure. What is the revenue stream that you guys anticipate you guys can do to be able to pay yourselves any salary whatsoever? By the way, did your other 4 buddies drop out of school too for this business? One of them did. One wasn't in school at the time. One of my other guys, he was already graduated, and then the 5th guy, he put some money in addition to what I put in.
I'm telling you, man, this is one of the craziest stories I think I've ever heard. This might be a very dangerous situation for you guys, because you're rolling the dice on a lot of stuff here. I mean, not only are you going into an extremely crowded marketplace. I'm not in the beverage business. I don't know much about it, but not only are you on a very crowded marketplace, the people who are in that business can do pretty much whatever they want. They can buy the shelf space. It's an extremely difficult place to get attention. But forget about that stuff. Dude, you got some real economic issues. How much money do you guys got to start this business between the 5 of you?
Between the 5 of us, 80,000.
80 grand between the 5 of you to get this business going. And how did you break up the company? Did you go 20% across the board, or somebody own more than the others? I
own the most.
How much you own?
I own 80%.
You own 80%. Why? Because you put up most of the money?
Yeah, and then once, because we have other money coming from one of the other guys, he's putting as a bare minimum 20. So I'm selling him 20% for that 20 grand.
Yeah.
So also, I'm going to stop at 51%. So that's where I'll be ending at.
Yeah. So here's the rub on all of this, buddy. I want to go through an organizational chart very quickly so I understand exactly what you five guys are doing. Your job is what?
So I'm the CEO. I'm the one who does everything. I'm the phone shop.
Good. Stop. Give me another guy. What else does he do? Who's your money guy?
My other guy, he's the CSO, the one putting the 20,000 in. So he's the one who's really developing our sales process.
So he's the CSO.
Yeah, he's developing like the
Stay with me.
Process, how pitch works.
Stay with me. Give me your money guy. Mm-hmm. Who's your CFO? So
that my CFO is my friend Jared, who has a degree in economics. He's a good friend of mine from high school.
Who's your marketing guy?
Our marketing guy, that's my buddy Caleb. He loves social media. He loves using it.
Good.
He's
and who's your operations guy? Who's your COO?
That's my buddy James. He's the guy who finished college.
Yeah.
Out of the five of us.
Great.
Yeah.
So give me the website where you guys are at right now, so I can take a look at it.
Our website, we're actually still in the process of building it. But our product's not even out yet, and so that's been our biggest problem is that we had $0 for so long that
hold on.
Hasn't been up and coming.
I don't hear $0. I hear $80,000.
No, sorry. What I mean is that we had zero, like we had no money for so long until just a little bit, past the beginning of the halfway of last year that we just started, really getting, close to launching, and it's just taken. There's been a lot of hoops we've had to jump through for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Give me the vision of where you guys think the business can go. What kind of numbers do you guys think you can actually put out? I mean, I'm going to go back to it. I think it's, with all due respect, my friend, I think it's the third time I asked.
Absolutely.
Tell me where you think this business can go. What kind of revenue can you guys produce?
In the next 10 years, we could absolutely be a $200 million business, absolutely, in the next 10 years. And I say 10 years because I know these things take time.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I say that large of a revenue stream is because Jungle Juice is a very, very popular product that if you ask any 21-year-old who is in college, the majority of them, 90% or maybe even 95% of them, they're going to know.
Well, let me ask one. I got him in my office. Let me ask Preston right now. You ever heard of Jungle Juice?
Jungle Juice?
Yeah.
Jungle Juice. I've heard of Jungle Juice. Jungle Juice, I might have heard of around there, but then again, I don't.
Yeah, so he's vaguely familiar with it, doesn't ever remember drinking it. So you guys are making a similar product to that, a product similar to that?
Essentially, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? If 95% of the marketplace has heard of it, why do you want to make it? I mean, you're not going to go in and make a version of Coke, right? Why aren't you making something that has a new sliver that nobody's ever tasted before, that you can go in and own the marketplace?
Right. Well, so the reason we're doing Jungle Juice is because, like I said, for whatever reason, it's not sold. So what the people make Jungle Juice, they make a big bin and they pour a bunch of different alcohols into it. So Jungle Juice, it's more of a concept than an actual recipe. It's not like
dude, you're talking about like getting grain liquor and putting it with fruit punch and putting it in a trash can and calling it Jungle Juice. Oh hell, you don't need to be a millennial to know that. I've been drinking that shit for 20 years. Come on, give me a break with that Jungle Juice. Hell, everybody does that.
I mean, the demand is there. I mean, a lot of the people that we've talked to are in our age group, and I'm only 22 years old. A lot of them, I mean, when we tell people what we're doing, the first question they always ask us is, well, where can I buy it? That's like that. It's not what's in it. How alcoholic is it?
Why do I need to buy your Jungle Juice when I can go buy? Dude, all I got to do is go buy grain alcohol and put fruit punch with it, and I got Jungle Juice. Why do I need to go buy your Jungle Juice?
The problem with making Jungle Juice at home is, one, it's a lot more dangerous at home. You don't know how alcoholic it is, right? And on top of that, if you leave it sitting out, you can grow microbials, that kind of stuff, if you don't make it right. It's not strong enough. So when you make it at home, it's a really dangerous drink. Our drink's going to be measured. It's going to be formally approved by the Traded Tax Bureau. They're the ones who look at all this stuff. And even the guy who helped us make the formula, the business we teamed up with for that, he even told us he's never seen anything like what we're doing. in the marketplace, and he's been doing this for about 6 years.
All right, big guy.
I mean,
Let's get down to it. We got about 10 minutes left. Here's what I really want to do.
Sure.
I really want to be able to help you. What do you really want to do with your life, man? I mean, let's get there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you really want to do? Are you doing this business because you want to make a lot of money? Or are you doing this business because you're just tired of school? Are you doing this business because you think you should be or somebody else wants you to do this? Tell me where you really see your life playing out.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest reason why I'm doing this business and I'm doing liquor in the first place is because I'm a big fan of human connection and it's interacting with other people, and responsible drinking definitely cultivates that. And so when I was younger, I was very shy. I was very awkward and weird. I wasn't good at making friends. And a lot of people make great friends over having a beer or two or a drink or two. And so my goal here is to help people cultivate those relationships, strengthen those friendships, strengthen all those connections that they make, and make new connections. Because that is, that's the thing we live for. That's why life is worth living, is because of those connections. Because life would be really boring if we didn't have that. If we couldn't interact. It's really exciting to get to interact with you. Life would be really boring without that kind of stuff, without having that daily interaction with people. And alcohol definitely subsidizes that and helps people with that, especially people who aren't good at doing it, like I used to be. Yeah, so that's the purpose of it. The purpose isn't for the money. I mean, the money will be great. It's awesome. There's other things I want to do later in life, like I want to do real estate investing, for example, like multifamily. And that'll be really exciting too. But the money is secondary. I mean, the money. I do believe the money will come, but the money isn't the purpose here.
All right, my friend, here's what I got for you. A couple things. Number one, I absolutely love that mission. That's a really cool mission because it's actually, how many people don't want to admit what you just admitted, which was that adolescence was a little bit awkward. You had to overcome some self-esteem issues and things like that. I mean, it took me a long, long time to get there. So I'm proud of you for doing that. But I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was in your shoes. I'd take that $80,000 and I'd say to my buddies, good luck to you guys, but that's my money, right? I'm keeping my money. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create activities, events, only marketed on social media, in which I can bring that same type of tribe, that same type of person, the person with that same issue, self-esteem, difficulty making friends, talking to girls, maybe girls talking to guys, whatever, maybe guys talking to guys. I would make that community, and I would not make it about alcohol. And I would develop that sort of a tribe in which people wanted to come to whatever that event was that I was doing because I was addressing that problem which nobody addresses. That's where your secret is. The problem is who's fixing the self-esteem issue in your community or communities across the country. Because the reality is the minute you introduce alcohol, and I had a major problem with alcohol all the way up, I quit in March of 1997. So March of this year was 20 years sober for me. I don't believe it helps anything. My life is so much better without having booze in it. That much I can tell you. So I don't think that booze helps that situation. What helps that situation is purity, is transparency, is genuineness, is trust. None of that shit comes through alcohol. So I don't like the way you're addressing that issue with the alcohol, but I love the problem that you're addressing. Now, let's get down to the business piece of it. Dude, you got to blow out these partners. They might be your buddies and all that sort of stuff. These guys aren't going to help you. I mean, shit. By the way, the name of this company is Wasteland Mixed Drinks, right?
Yep.
Dude, let me tell you something, all right?
Yeah.
I'm in the credit business, okay? I mean, that's my business. So within 2 seconds, I went to the state of Oregon only to find out that your company is inactive, all right? So Wasteland.
Okay, I paid my relicensing fee.
Well, my point. Look, I'm not trying to bust you out on it. I'm just trying to get this.
No,
I'm trying to prove a point, and the point is that whoever is in charge of that in your organizational chart, your buddies, doesn't know that that's happening, and so your operations guy or your CFO is asleep at the wheel.
Wasteland Mixed Drinks. That's just the DBA is Wasteland Mixed Drinks. Yeah.
But stay with me, dude. Wasteland Mixed Drinks is also what your website is, or not the website, but what the Facebook page is, right?
Right.
So what is the DBA then? If the corporate heading is Wasteland Mixed Drinks LLC or Inc., DBA, what's the DBA? Jungle Juice?
No, Wasteland Mixed Drinks is the DBA. The company name is Lacayo Global Enterprise. That's the company name. The Wasteland Mixed Drinks is the DBA for that company.
Yeah, so it's in your name too. I mean, even the name of the holding company is in your name.
Yeah.
Then you got to blow out these partners.
Oh, yeah.
These partners aren't helping you. Because, by the way, your chief marketing officer, when I went to Wasteland Mixed Drinks Facebook page, there hasn't been a post on there since September of 2016. So your marketing guy isn't doing anything to help you on this. This partnership is bad for you. And it might be good for you if you weren't the money guy. But it's bad for you because you're the money guy. So you have to dissolve this partnership and do not let any of these guys have any equity stake in the business. It's your money. The holding company is in your name. And when you go out to the marketplace, you must outsource these guys. You don't need these guys. You outsource to a local accountant. You outsource to a local media or marketing company. The COO is very important because you're going to end up getting in the manufacturing business, or you can just take this secret formula and just license it out to a big one, and you don't need any partners. You don't need to ever manufacture anything. You can just get a patent on this jungle juice that everybody says is so amazing, and then just go ahead and license it to a big manufacturer, and you're out. So you're setting it up a little bit too difficult for yourself. You're bringing in too many people. There is no revenue to split. You guys are going to burn through that 80 grand because sooner or later, some of your buddies are going to start to say, man, I can't live. I need a little bit of money. Somebody's got to start paying me a salary. Has that conversation started to happen yet?
Honestly, no. Everybody's been very, very, respectful about it in that regard.
Yeah, until they go broke. Until they can't pay the rent, bro. Until the repo man comes for the car. And then they start saying, hey, Andrew, how about a little of that scratch? Right. And then you know what you got to say? Right. Hey, marketing guy, how about a few Facebook posts? And then that's going to cause a problem between you guys, and it's going to hurt your friendship. And take it from me, dude. I know what I'm talking about. I almost lost my best friend over starting business together, right? And we had the smarts to separate in the very early days, and it was the absolute best thing we ever did. We're still best friends today. And if we did not do that, I would not have him as my best friend. Break up this partnership, save the friendship. Now, as far as the business goes, man, you guys got to get going, bro. How is there no Facebook post since September 16? You guys should be banging social media 20 times a day, doing Facebook Lives, going into the factory, showing how the test of the formulation is being done. How are you guys getting your patent squared away? I mean, you guys got to go, man. It's go time. You need attention for this thing. Right.
Yeah. I think that's kind of come from our naivety and just being new at the business in general. Yeah.
Now, let me give you the last takeaway, if you don't mind. I want to be perfectly frank with you, dude.
Sure. Absolutely.
By the way, if you're ever in Dallas, I'd love you to swing by and visit with me.
Yeah.
But I think you need to go back to school. I think you need to get your degree. I think you need to put this business on the countertop, shelve it up, and I think you should make your parents happy. Dude, they worked their balls off for you to give you an amazing life in which you didn't have to work that hard. And I believe you have a responsibility to give them a college degree. And they would be so proud of you if you did that. Mm-hmm. And your comments about, well, the business books are 10 years old and all that sort of stuff. Let me tell you something. Dude, nothing changes in business overnight. Things may change in social media. Things may change in technology. But nothing changes in business. It's all the same stuff. You can read a book from 300. You can read The Rockefeller Habits by a guy named Vern Harnish. That concept of Rockefeller is over 100 years old, and those concepts are as true and applicable today as they were in the late 1800s and early 1900s. So don't fall into that trap that there isn't good quality information going on at the schools. Not to mention, especially where you're running around with an Oregon school or maybe a Stanford connection, dude. That's where the action's at. There's unbelievably smart people coming out of there. Mm-hmm. So my suggestion to you would be keep the 80 grand, dump the partnership, go back to college, get the degree, give your parents probably the gift that they worked 20 or 30 years of their life to give, to set you up to do that for them and make them extremely happy. Do it over the next year and a half or 2 years. Come out with a degree, come out with some great contacts, come out with some business advice and the ability to say that you finished. Because you mark my words, if you don't finish college, and listen, I went to a shitty cooking school, but at least when I'm at a cocktail party and somebody says, where'd you go to college? I get to say, I went to a shitty cooking school college. My wife, I'm crazy about my wife, as anybody who knows me knows, she was a hairdresser before we had children. She hates when we go to cocktail parties and people say, "Where'd you go to college?" It's like a scarlet letter for her. She hates that, having to say, "I didn't go to college." Okay?
Okay.
So those would be my suggestions for you, my friend. We spent 30 minutes. I promise you're going to be okay if you follow those. If you follow this business and you burn through that 80 grand, bad choice.
Mm-hmm.
Bad choice. Keep that 80 grand. Get that degree. Make your parents happy. Save your friendship with your buddies and dump this partnership. I'm not saying dump the idea. I'm just saying dump the partnership, get the degree, and then blow the dust off the idea in a year or so.
To clarify, the 80 grand, not all the, so half of the 80 grand is mine. I'm putting in just under 50.
Yep.
Some of the rest of it is coming from the other partners.
Give all the money back to your investors. Give it all back to them. So you keep your 50 and you give the other 30. Disperse it however it's possible. Mm-hmm. Give it all back to those people. Okay? And do not go down this road. It's not going to work. And not that the idea isn't going to work. Don't get me wrong there. It's that this partnership is set up. It's going to be too messy. Nobody's doing their job so far. We got a corporation papers that says the corporation's inactive. You got a marketing guy who hasn't done a post on Facebook since September of 2016. I mean, who's doing their job, right?
No, honestly, I mean, it comes on me. I'm the CEO. I should be making sure everything's in check. I mean, I do believe it falls on me.
Well, look, my marketing guy, Preston is our video production manager in here. It's not my job to make videos. That's his job to make videos. We have a social media team. It's not my job to post. It's their job to post, right? I mean, it's not my job to fund deals in this office. That's my operations manager's job. So the CEO's job is not to do the work, bro. The CEO's job is to see the field, to delegate properly, to lead, to develop company culture, to make people feel happy and worthy about where they work and who they're working for. The CEO's job is not to clean the toilets. Take it from me. I did clean the toilets. In fact, I wiped the toilet today in my office, right? But that's just the way I am. I mean, I'm going to wipe it when I leave, even though we have janitorial. You got me? That's just who I am.
Sure.
But that is not the CEO's job eventually. The CEO's job is to see the field and lead, okay? So, listen, I wish you the best of luck. Call me if there's anything else I can help you with, but don't call me on this idea no more. You hear me? This one I want you to scratch. This one is dead on arrival until you guys get that money back. Take your 50 grand, put it in the bank. It will become extremely valuable, especially if you want real estate, because there will be a real estate crash, especially in your area of Oregon or Northern California. Have your 50 grand ready, man. You could pounce in 2 years. Don't piss it away on this idea right now. Get that degree. Big guy, take care of yourself, all right?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, too. Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Bye.